Hi friends, how are you all? This is FJ What If. Today we are going to discuss about what if Naruto was king of Shaman and had spirit of fire part 1. Chapter 1. Reborn. A depressed Naruto walked out of Ichiraku Ramen, making his way home without his usual cheerful air. He was enrolled a week ago in the shinobi program at the academy due to his drive to become the Hokage and gain the respect of the villagers. However, that goal was crushed when the teachers discovered, to their hidden glee, that he couldn't mold chakra. The Hokage, upon hearing this, immediately took Naruto to the hospital for a thorough checkup. Kuroto, one of the few doctors in the hospital who didn't hate Naruto, gave him a complete medical examination to find out what the problem was and cure it immediately. It was an hour later that they discovered that Naruto could not become a shinobi due to his inability to use chakra. Of course, Naruto fainted immediately when he heard that, totally missing the conversation between the Sandaime and Kuroto. It would seem that the seal holding the Kyuubi had a side effect that none of them were able to expect. The seal, which was already a part of Naruto, permanently sealed off his ability to mold chakra. Sure, the boy had spiritual and physical energy in spades due to his status as a Jinchuriki, but the seal made it impossible for the boy to combine them to form chakra that was a staple for any shinobi. The Sandaime was given two options. 1. Undo the seal for Naruto to mold chakra again, give or take a few years for his coils to adapt, but would result in releasing the Kyuubi that would result in Konoha's destruction. 2. Deny Naruto the ability to use chakra to keep the Kyuubi contained, thus, making sure that Konoha continues to thrive. The Sandaime Hokage, with the heavy heart, chose the lesser of two evils, keeping the seal intact and stopping Naruto from ever becoming a shinobi, shattering his lifelong dream to become the Hokage. When Naruto woke up, the Sandaime took the depressed boy to Ichiraku Ramen to get the boy to cheer up. To their shock and amazement, Naruto wasn't able to finish a bowl of his favorite ramen before asking for leave to go home. Naruto walked the streets of Konoha in a gait that many would describe as zombie-like. The blonde, due to his extreme bout of depression, didn't notice the mob forming behind him, eyeing him as if he was a piece of meat. A bloody and broken Uzumaki Naruto lay unmoving in one of the hidden alleys in Konoha, surrounded by a mob composed of both civilians and shinobi. They spent half an hour tearing into the boy, thinking that it was their right to make him suffer being the Kyuubi's container. In their minds, hurting Naruto was like hurting the monster he contained. Naruto, due to his depression, didn't even shout as the sharp weapons cut his body up. He didn't scream as his bones broke. He didn't yell as blows upon blows were rained down on him. Some of the mob stopped when they noticed the boy, silent acceptance, unnerved at the fact that a 5-year-old boy didn't even notice their actions. Unknown to them, something was happening inside the boy's mind, or to be more precise, his soul. Naruto stood blankly as he stared at the darkness creeping up on him. When the mob started cutting him up, he didn't know how he did it, but he went into a trance and entered his mind. He found himself in a sewer, ankle deep in water. He noticed a loud roar echoing from the distance, but he ignored it. Instead, he focused on the darkness creeping up on him, slowly, ever so slowly, eating up the sewer that he didn't know was a representation of his mind and soul. The shadow eating his mind and soul was his approaching death. I wish everything would end. Naruto whispered to himself. I don't know why I kept holding on to life anymore. Is that your wish, Uzumaki Naruto? Who's there? Naruto asked, not even startled when he heard the voice speak to him. The voice that was coming from everywhere around him. He didn't notice the shadow slow down its advance as if time is being slowed down. Do you really wish to die? Yes, was the blonde's answer, a smile on his face before turning into longing. I will meet my parents if I do. Did your failure to become a shinobi really affected you that much? So much that you changed immediately from wanting to live life to wanting death's embrace. What else is there? Was Naruto's question. What if you were more, Uzumaki Naruto? What if being a shinobi was not your path? What if you were destined for something greater? Something more profound than being a mercenary? What do you mean? Naruto asked the voice. Despite his intentions of leaving this world for the afterlife, a hint of interest laced his tone. I will make you an offer, Uzumaki Naruto. If you wish to die, then I will not stop you. However, if you wish to hold on to life and start anew, dream of new goals, suffer old and new pains, I will bestow upon you a power that has long been dormant in the world. Power. Yes, a power that has been a part of humanity but no longer used. A power that is now a forgotten myth from a time long past. If you wish to live, then you will get this power, Uzumaki Naruto. You will become the first shaman of this generation. Naruto was silent as he pondered the voice's offer. Should he live, continue his existence despite the hate and torture he was subjected to? Should he take the offer and deny his longing to see his parents again in the afterlife? As if these questions opened a floodgate in his mind, Naruto saw the faces of people who cared for him, people who loved him. The smiling and laughing face of the Sandaime Hokage. The cheerful and accepting faces of the Ichiraku Tyuki and his daughter, Ayame. His Anbu guard wearing a dog mask telling him stories about shinobi missions. The faces of the merchants that visited the village every month that offered him food and a place to sleep. The funny duo who guards the large Konoha gate, playing with him if he was bored or lonely. He smiled as he remembered their faces, determination coursing through his body as he told the voice his decision. I will live. I will accept the power. I will do it for my precious people. Naruto declared in a voice that didn't belong to a 5-year-old, a declaration that only those who survived wars and devastation could say in determination. Live your life, Uzumaki Naruto. I will grant you the power of your ancestors, the powers of your long-forgotten family, the most powerful shamans that graced the world. Their powers are now yours to use as you see fit. For good or for ill, become a shaman that would make your family proud, Asakura Naruto. Naruto felt something unlock his mind, his body filling up with a powerful energy that encompassed his entire being. The darkness eating away at the sewer disappeared as the walls turned into particles of light. Asakura Naruto floated amidst a sea of white energy that caressed him, soothed him, empowered him. He felt knowledge enter his mind, history of his forgotten ancestors, their abilities and strength, their failures and weakness, of ancient lore and techniques. All flowed into the boy who accepted his birthright. Who are you? Was Asakura Naruto's question as he wanted to know who the voice was, a lingering note of familiarity attached to it. My name is Asakura Hao, the Shaman King. Live on my descendant and show to the world that an Asakura shaman walks the earth again. Fight the good fight, live the good life, and most importantly, protect those who you deem precious while striking fear into the hearts of your enemies. Naruto opened his eyes as a pillar of concentrated Furyoku erupted around him, effectively pushing back the crowd as he slowly floated upright. Another burst caused his torn and bloody shirt to disintegrate, showing the mob the wounds healing at an alarming pace as his hair lengthened to reach his ankles. He floated serenely in front of the crowd, face serene as he gazed upon the fearful visage of his attackers. One of the shinobi in the mob couldn't help but shout. The demon, it's escaping, shouted the shinobi as he flipped through hand seals before launching a large fireball towards the floating Naruto. Naruto saw the attack coming as if it was in slow motion. He raised his hand towards the projectile as knowledge from his ancestors flooded his mind. Cho Senji Ryukatsu, Fumin Tonko. A barrier of pure Furyoku appeared in front of Naruto in a form of a shield that easily absorbed the fireball as if it was nothing. In essence, Fumin Tonko was an ability to read the flow of spirit, allowing the shaman to avoid spirit-based techniques or render them effective. However, the large amounts of Furyoku Naruto used solidified the technique into something akin to a shield, effectively protecting him from the attack. Everyone, let's attack together. Let's show the demon who's more powerful, shouted the leader of the mob, a fat civilian carrying a large butcher knife. His words dispelled the fear that gripped the crowd, resulting in crazed shouts causing them to attack all at once. Civilians threw their weapons at him while the shinobi in the crowd let loose a barrage of shurikens, kunai, and jutsus. Naruto smiled at mob's desperation. His newly gained ability to read the hearts of people made him realize that they were fearful of him. Fear driving them forward, fear feeding their courage. But in Naruto's point of view, fear will lead to their deaths under his hands. Come, my guardian spirit, Naruto whispered as his Furyoku surged. A pillar of flame surrounded him before expanding outward, melting the metal weapons and sharp-cutting kitchen instruments while snuffing out the pitiful Kaiden jutsus from the shinobi, also reducing the buildings and items around him into ash. The civilians who couldn't get away in time suffered the same fate, while those who saw the attack coming were able to retreat to a distance that protected them from the searing flames' reach. The conflagration surrounding Naruto converged until it formed a gigantic humanoid form that was bigger than the Hokage Tower. The apparition of flames had long arms that almost reached down to the ground, ending in large claws that could easily skewer a full-size human with enough left for another. Its neck protruded out of the top of its hunched torso to make way for a head with two large appendages that many would describe as its ears. It had no nose or mouth, but the baleful green eyes stared down at the fearful mob as if passing judgment. Everyone, Naruto called the attention of what's left of the mob, a smile gracing his face that scared them. The newly awakened shaman felt spiritual signature coming at him at high speed, recognizing two of them belonging to those precious to him. I would like to thank you for showing me your tender loving care. Thanks to you, I was reborn. No longer will be called as Uzumaki Naruto, the same Naruto who died when he found out that he could no longer be a shinobi or reach his dream as the Hokage of this village. What you see before you is the reborn Naruto, taking up the mantle of my ancestors, a shaman. From this day onward, I shall be known as Asakura Naruto. As if to drive his point home, the spirit of fire let out a roar so powerful it made the whole village tremble. When it was done, the powerful spirit raised its clawed hands towards the crowd as flames converged into a ball. Farewell, said Naruto, his smile never leaving his face as his guardian spirit let loose its attack that vaporized what was left of the crowd as well as the surrounding area, reducing some of the houses to ash and killing the ones inside. With its work done, the large spirit reached down and laid its hand on the ground, palms up. Smiling, Naruto took his place on the offered appendage before being lifted to his guardian's chest. Casually, Naruto jumped on its shoulder and sat down as the Sandaime and his trusted team of Anbu finally arrived at the scene. Naruto smiled at the man he considered his grandfather. Good evening, Hokage Gigi. Naruto greeted the Sandaime Hokage who gaped at the monstrosity in front of him, his grandson in all but blood on its shoulder, totally unafraid or affected by the scene of destruction around him. And Naruto, the Sandaime stuttered out in disbelief. Who else, Gigi? Naruto joked before pointing at the Hokage tower in the middle of the village. Shall we go to your office, Gigi? We need to talk. The Sandaime sighed before turning to the squad of Anbu behind him, most specifically, Dog, who he was sure was gaping at the sight of his surrogate brother sitting happily on the monstrosity's shoulder. Dog, order your squad to clean this mess up. I want a full report later. Clear. Hi, Hokage-sama. Dog stuttered before turning to his team to get started with his order. The Sandaime turned to Naruto and was about to tell the boy to follow him when the giant's hand lowered down in front of him. Come on up, Gigi. It's safe. My guardian spirit won't hurt you. Naruto told the Sandaime in encouragement. Deciding to trust his grandson, he stepped on the offered hand before he was raised to where Naruto was before jumping on the shoulder beside the smiling blonde. I suggest you hold on, Gigi. Naruto warned. What? Asked the Hokage before he shouted in surprise when he felt the large being float up into the air and flying towards the Hokage tower. Despite the situation, he couldn't help but feel happy when he heard the carefree laughter that came out Naruto's mouth. End of Chapter 1.